The world was once a land of harmony and ancient rituals. But the winds of war rose across the land. As clans hungered for power, villages burned and temples fell. The age of peace ended with the echo of steel. From that chaos rose men who lived by the blade, bound by honor stronger than fear. They became known as the samurai, warriors of discipline and resolve. In their hands, chaos found order. This was their beginning. In the ashes of defeat, a young warrior rises. The fires of loss forge the steel of resolve. He trains beneath the rain, each strike a prayer, each breath a promise. Mentors watch in silence as he fails, bleeds, and rises again. Pain becomes his teacher. Under the crimson sky, discipline burns into his very soul. In his silence grows purpose, and from purpose, legend. As dawn breaks, the storm fades. In the stillness, his spirit begins to whisper. The temple grounds breathe with forgotten voices, echoes of every warrior who once sought truth here. He kneels upon the stone path, eyes closed, heart open. Every breath, a conversation with the divine. Visions ripple across his mind, shadows of what was and what is yet to come. In this silence, he finds himself, and the spirit within awakens. The valley trembles once more, as destiny summons him back to the storm. Across the plains, armies gather like tides, each wave born of vengeance.
Advance the banners!
He rides forward, armor gleaming, eyes locked upon his fate. No turning back. Steel meets steel. The world narrows to the flash of blades and the thunder of hearts. And amidst the chaos, he moves like a whisper of inevitability. Fate dances on the edge of his blade. As the mist parted and the echoes of battle faded, the field lay silent, a canvas of sacrifice painted in the hues of dawn. Every fallen warrior whispered a story carried by the morning wind, stories of courage, of loss, of honor. From silence came reflection. Those who lived began to seek purpose, not through victory, but through discipline. What remains of their spirit would be reforged into something unbreakable. They gathered under the wounded sky, rebuilding not walls, but their will. Firelight glowed on weary faces as words of a new creed took shape. In those flames they found meaning, a name for their path. Bushido, the way of the warrior. To live with honor, to die with peace. Bushido was never written. It lived in every act of loyalty, every sacrifice made without hesitation. Through the code, chaos found order. Through honor, they transcended death itself. From the ashes of defeat, the samurai rose. Loyalty, the unseen thread binding warrior to lord, heart to destiny. For the samurai, it was not obedience. It was devotion, pure and unyielding. They pledged not just their swords, but their souls, bound by honor even when the path led into shadow. Steel could break, flesh could fail, but their word endured. For a samurai knows, loyalty is not a chain. It is the breath that keeps his honor alive. To serve meant to sacrifice, and in that sacrifice, they discovered eternity. Each step toward death was a step toward meaning. They carried the weight of their lords and the honor of their clans on their shoulders, and in that duty, they transcended fear itself. Legends tell of warriors who faced impossible odds, not for glory, but for a promise etched in their souls. They knew they would not return. Yet in their final breath, loyalty shone brighter than fear. In death, they found not an ending, but a legacy. Their names became whispers, carried by the wind, their honor woven into the very soul of Bushido. The code did not die with them. It rose from their ashes, shining brighter than steel. And so, the spirit of Bushido will never fall. As peace crumbled once more, the samurai stood at the edge of destiny, bound not by conquest, but by loyalty. Their oaths were not to kings, but to something greater, the bond of honor, stronger than blood itself. Each warrior knew that his life belonged to a promise, one spoken in silence, sealed in sacrifice. In the quiet before the storm, they did not tremble. They bowed. The earth beneath their knees was cold, yet their resolve burned brighter than any flame. For loyalty was not obedience. It was devotion, the choice to stand firm even when death approached. And when betrayal came, it did not break them. It purified them. The fire of treachery stripped away all that was false, leaving only the core, unyielding and pure. Their spirits became unshakable, bound to their lords, to their comrades, to the unseen thread of fate, loyalty, the storm that forged the unbreakable heart of the samurai. Even when the world forgot their names, the wind still carried their vow. And so, the legacy of loyalty endures, whispering across ages like a sacred flame that refuses to die. The plains once green are now rivers of flame, banners torn, ash rising like spirits of the fallen. Through the storm of arrows, the lone warrior stands unyielding, armor scorched, eyes burning with the last of his honor. He charges, a flash of steel and sorrow. Each strike a prayer, each breath a goodbye. In that blinding dance of death, time slows, the world reduced to a single heartbeat. He sees the faces of his brothers, his lord, his past, all fading into smoke. And as he kneels beneath the burning heavens, he whispers,
"Not in defeat, but remembrance."
As dawn's first light breaks over the smoldering plains, the cries of war are replaced by silence. Only the wind dares to speak. Among the fallen, a lone warrior stirs, his armor blackened, his spirit flickering like the dying embers. He kneels before his fallen lord, sword trembling in his grasp, whispering a prayer that drifts away with the morning breeze. And as the sun rises, the land remembers, not victory, not defeat, but the cost of honor. The story of the samurai may fade, but the spirit endures. If this reimagined journey moved you, honor it with your blade of support, subscribe, and walk with us again. Tell us in the comments, what world shall we reimagine next? Until then, stay true to your path. This is What If. where the past meets possibility.